You have noticed it, haven't you? A sudden, profound quietness has settled over your spirit. It wasn't a decision you made with your mind. It wasn't a strategy you calculated. It happened organically. It happened spiritually. You are speaking less, much less. In the past, you were the explainer. You were the one trying to bridge gaps, the one trying to make people understand your heart, your intentions, and your vision. You would spend hours in circular conversations, pouring your energy in to verify your existence to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. You would over-explain, over-justify, and overshare, thinking that if you just found the right combination of words, they would finally get it. You thought communication was the key to peace. But recently, something shifted. The urge to explain has vanished. The need to defend your name has dissolved. You find yourself sitting in rooms where people are gossiping, arguing, or debating low vibrational topics. And instead of jumping in to correct them, instead of feeling the burning desire to set the record straight, you simply stay silent. And the strangest part, this silence doesn't feel heavy. It feels lighter. It feels like a massive weight has been lifted off your chest. This is not depression. This is not isolation. This is elevation. Let's look at the physical reality of what you are experiencing right now. You might find that your phone rings and you just stare at it. You see the names of people who used to consume hours of your time, and your body physically recoils. You don't have the energy to pick up. Not because you are tired, but because your energy has become too expensive to spend on cheap exchanges. You might find that when you are forced into small talk, that meaningless chatter about the weather, or celebrity drama, or the complaints of the world, your throat literally feels tight. It feels physically uncomfortable to force words out that do not carry truth or weight. Your biology is rejecting the fake frequency of the matrix. Emotionally, this shift can be confusing at first. You might have asked yourself, is something wrong with me? Am I becoming antisocial? Am I losing my spark? Because the world has conditioned you to believe that being loud is being alive. The world tells you that if you aren't broadcasting your every move, you don't exist. But deep down, beneath that confusion, there is a new feeling emerging. Peace. A deep, resonant peace. You are no longer exhausted at the end of the day from carrying the emotional baggage of others. You are realizing that your silence is not a weakness, it is a fortress. When you stopped speaking, the drama stopped finding you. When you stopped engaging with the chaos lost your address. You are feeling the lightness of detachment. It is the feeling of walking through a storm and realizing you are no longer getting wet because you are operating on a different timeline than the storm itself. But there is a deeper, spiritual layer to this silence. This is the layer that the people around you cannot see, and it is the reason they are becoming uncomfortable with your quietness. You are currently undergoing a spiritual audit. Your soul is being calibrated for a higher mission. When a chosen one is about to be promoted by God, the first thing he does is shut their mouth. He silences them. Why? Because power leaks through the tongue. For years, you gave your power away to vampires who fed on your words. Every time you argued with a narcissist, you fed them. Every time you tried to convince a skeptic, you drained your battery. Now the universe has engaged a safety protocol within you. You are in a period of incubation. Like a seed buried in the soil, you must be silent to grow. The seed does not scream while it is breaking open. It works in the dark, in the quiet, in the deep earth. This lightness you feel is the return of your own energy. For the first time in your life, you are keeping your own power. You are recirculating your own light instead of broadcasting it into a void that refuses to reflect it back. You are not speaking less because you have nothing to say. You are speaking less because you finally understand the value of what you carry. You are realizing the pearl should not be cast before swine, and your energy, your breath, and your words are the most precious pearls in existence. The headaches are gone. The constant fatigue is lifting. The anxiety that used to hum in the background of your mind is being replaced by a stillness that feels ancient. This is not an accident. You are being prepared. The silence is not empty. It is full of answers. You are experiencing this silence because you have entered a zone of preservation. For decades, you operated under a false program. You believed that your energy was infinite and that it was your duty to heal, fix, and explain the world to everyone around you. But the spiritual truth is that we are currently in a time of intense energetic warfare. The veil is thinning. The polarity between the light and the dark is becoming extreme. In this environment, your words are no longer just sounds. They are ammunition, and you have instinctively realized that you cannot afford to waste your ammunition on targets that do not matter. This is the law of spiritual economy. As your vibration rises, your tolerance for density lowers. Words, by their very nature, are dense. They are 3D containers for 5D energy. When you try to explain a high vibrational concept, like your intuition, your prophetic dreams, or your gut feelings, to someone who is committed to the matrix, you have to lower your frequency just to find the words to speak to them. You have to descend from your throne to meet them in the mud. For years, you did this willingly. You lowered your vibration to make others comfortable. You dimmed your light so you wouldn't blind them. But now the timeline is split. The reason life feels lighter when you speak less is that you have stopped dragging your energy down to the level of those who are determined to misunderstand you. You have stopped anchoring yourself to a sinking ship. Understanding the mechanics of this is crucial. Every time you speak, you are expelling prana, or life force energy. In the Bible, it says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. This is literal physics. When you engage in low vibrational arguments, when you justify your choices to your family, when you defend your character to people who are committed to seeing you as the villain, you are literally feeding them your life force. You are acting as a battery for the matrix. The spiritual cause of your silence is that your soul has closed the valve. You are no longer leaking. You have become a sealed vessel. This is necessary because the level of blessing and power that is about to be poured into you requires a container that does not leak. If God poured the new wine into your old self, the self that felt the need to explain everything to everyone, you would have spilled it all within days. You would have told your big vision to a friend who secretly harbors jealousy, and their negative eye would have tainted your harvest before it even bloomed. You are being silenced for your protection. There are monitoring spirits, energies that watch for your eyes, that listen to the words of your mouth to know how to attack you. When you broadcast your plans, you give the enemy the blueprints to sabotage you. But when you move in silence, you become invisible to the radar of the dark. They cannot destroy what they cannot find. They cannot block a move they do not know you are making. This silence is also a sign that your intuition has taken the driver's seat. In the lower dimensions, we use words to navigate. We ask for directions. We ask for validation. We ask for permission. In the higher dimensions, where you are now beginning to reside, we use knowing. You don't need to ask someone if they are lying to you. Your spirit feels the dissonance instantly. You don't need to argue your point. You state your truth once, and if it is not received, you withdraw your energy. The lightness you feel is the absence of resistance. You have stopped fighting the current. You have realized that you cannot wake people up who are pretending to be asleep. You have accepted that some people are committed to their karmic loops, and no amount of your beautiful, eloquent words will pull them out of it. By releasing the need to save them with your words, you have saved yourself. The universe is weaning you off the addiction to external validation. The old you needed to speak to feel heard. The new you knows that God hears you. The universe responds to you, and your reality obeys you. You do not need the agreement of the crowd to validate your existence. You are becoming a sovereign entity. A king or a queen does not stand in the market square arguing with the peasants about the laws of the kingdom. They sit on the throne, they speak a decree, and it is done. You are stepping into that energy. You are moving from discussion to decree. This silence is not emptiness. It is the heavy, pregnant silence of a storm cloud right before the lightning strikes. Now let us observe the battlefield. As you retreat into this divine silence, you will witness a fascinating and somewhat chaotic reaction from the world around you. Specifically, you will see the agent smiths, the narcissists, the energy vampires, and the controllers begin to malfunction. Your silence is causing a glitch in their matrix. You see, for years, these entities have relied on a very specific script to control you. The script was simple. They poke you, you react. They bait you with an insult or a false accusation, and you jump to defend yourself. They create chaos, and you rush in to fix it. This cycle provided them with narcissistic supply, a dark energy harvest. They fed on your frustration, your tears, and your desperate need to be understood. Your emotional reaction was their food. But now you have cut off the supply line. When you stop speaking, you become unpredictable. And to a control freak, unpredictability is terrifying. Have you noticed that the quieter you get, the louder they become? Have you noticed that they have started doing outrageous things, saying wildly untrue things, or creating emergencies out of thin air just to get you to open your mouth? This is called an extinction burst. It is a psychological and spiritual desperation. They are starving for your energy, and they are throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. They are terrified of your silence because in your silence they can no longer read you. When you were over-explaining yourself, you were showing them your hand. You were telling them exactly what hurt you, exactly what you feared, and exactly how to manipulate you. You were giving them the instruction manual to your soul. Now that the manual is closed, they are operating in the blind. They look at you and they see a blank face, a calm spirit, and a closed mouth. They don't know if you are angry, if you are plotting, if you are leaving, or if you simply don't care anymore. And that "I don't care" energy is the most dangerous weapon against a narcissist. It signals their irrelevance. Your silence forces them to face themselves. This is the most painful part for them. In a conversation, especially an argument, they can focus all their attention on you, on your flaws, your tone, your words. They project their inner darkness onto you. But when you are silent, you become a mirror, a smooth, reflective mirror. When they scream at you and you say nothing, their words hit that mirror and bounce right back at them. They are forced to hear the ugliness of their own voice. They are forced to feel the weight of their own aggression, hanging in the dead air. They cannot escape their own vibration anymore because you are no longer absorbing it for them. This is why they might accuse you of being arrogant, cold, or distant. They will try to frame your spiritual preservation as a character flaw. They will say, "You think you're better than everyone else now because you don't talk." Do not let this gaslighting penetrate your shield. You do not think you are better. You simply know you are different. You are protecting your peace. And to those who thrive on war, peace feels like an insult. The Matrix is reacting to your shift. You might find that people fall out of your life rapidly during this time. The trash is taking itself out because you are no longer providing the energy that sustained these parasitic relationships. The parasites are detaching. They are looking for a new host, someone who is still asleep, someone who will still play the game of drama and defense. Let them go. Do not chase them with words. Do not send that final text paragraph trying to explain why you are changing. Let your absence be the explanation. Your silence is shifting the power dynamic entirely. Before, they held the frame, they set the tone, and you danced to their music. Now you are the immovable object. You are the mountain. The wind may howl, the storm may rage, but the mountain does not argue with the wind. It simply is. This creates a deep, primal respect, even from your enemies. Though they may hate you, though they may slander you, they respect the strength it takes to hold your tongue. They know deep down that a person who cannot be provoked is a person who cannot be controlled. By speaking less, you are reclaiming your sovereignty. You are signaling to the spirit realm that you are no longer a participant in the low-frequency theater of this world. You are an observer. You are the director of your own reality, and you have yelled "cut" on the scenes that no longer serve you. The actors are confused, but the director is finally at peace. We have now arrived at the core of the matter. We must peel back the final layer of this reality to understand the metaphysical mechanics of what is happening to you. This is not psychology. This is theology. This is quantum physics. This is the ancient law of the Logos. In the beginning, there was the Word. The universe itself was spoken into existence. Let there be light. Sound is the architect of reality. Everything you see, the trees, the stars, your body, your bank account, is merely sound vibration that has slowed down enough to become visible matter. For the chosen one, this truth carries a terrifying weight. You are not like the others. Your spirit is denser, more ancient, and more potent. This means that your words are not just wind. They are spells. They are decrees. Because you carry a higher concentration of source energy, the lag time between what you speak and what you create is shrinking. This is why you can no longer afford the luxury of idle chatter. This is why you can no longer afford to gossip, to complain, or to participate in low-frequency debates. When a regular person speaks negativity, it might take 10 years for that fruit to grow. When you speak negativity, or when you engage in arguments that lower your vibration, the blowback is immediate. You have noticed this, haven't you? If you gossip, you bite your tongue instantly. If you tell a lie, you get caught immediately. If you argue with a fool, you feel physically ill for days. This is because your manifestation engine is running at a higher RPM than the rest of the world. God is teaching you to govern your power. He is putting a governor on your tongue because you are entering a season where your words will have the power to kill or to heal instantly. The silence you are experiencing is the universe's way of purifying your vessel. You are being trained to become a mouthpiece for the divine. In the ancient mystery schools, initiates were forced into vows of silence for years before they were allowed to learn the higher mysteries. Why? Because you cannot hear the voice of God while you are listening to the sound of your own voice. You cannot channel high-frequency wisdom while you're tuned into the static of the collective unconscious. This is the wilderness season that every prophet must walk through. You are in the cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the caterpillar dissolves completely before it reconstructs into the butterfly. It is a messy, silent, solitary process. If the caterpillar tried to have a conversation with the other bugs outside the cocoon while it was melting, it would die. You are in the melting phase. You are dissolving your old identity, the people pleaser, the explainer, the victim. You are reconstructing into a sovereign being. Furthermore, this silence is how you collapse the old timelines. Listen closely, for this is the key to your freedom. Reality is kept alive by observation and conversation. When you talk about your problems, you are watering them. When you call your friend to rehash the trauma of what your ex did to you 5 years ago, you are literally reaching back into the path, grabbing that pain and dragging it into your present. You are resubscribing to the trauma. The reason life feels lighter is because by speaking less, you are starving the old timeline. You are letting the old version of you die the natural death. You are no longer affirming your illness, your poverty, or your loneliness with your words. By remaining silent, you are entering the void, the 0-point field of infinite potential. In this silence, you are no longer defined by your past stories. You are a blank slate, and on a blank slate, God can write a new destiny. You are moving from the energy of the beggar to the energy of the emperor. The beggar talks. The beggar asks, pleads, bargains, and explains. The emperor simply is. The emperor commands with presence, not with noise. The true power of the chosen one is not in how loud they can scream, but in how much energy they can hold without spilling it. You are becoming a heavy spirit, heavy with glory, heavy with truth. And heavy things do not need to move much to make an impact. A pebble must be thrown to make a ripple. A boulder just needs to sit there to change the flow of the river. You are becoming the boulder. You are becoming the anchor. Your silence is not an absence of activity. It is a massive gravitational force that is realigning your entire reality around you without you lifting a finger. This is the prophecy for your life. You are being prepared for a position of spiritual leadership and authority, where your word will be law. You will speak a thing and it will be established. But to be trusted with that level of power, you must first master the art of silence. You must prove that you can hold the fire without burning the house down. So how do you walk this path? How do you maintain this divine silence in a world that is screaming for your attention? You must move from understanding this shift to actively embodying it. You must turn this silence into a strategy. First, you must master the sacred pause. The enemy relies on your reflex. They rely on the fact that when they push a button, the machine starts working immediately. From this day forward, disable the buttons. When someone asks you a question that feels invasive, when someone makes a comment that feels sharp, or when chaos erupts in your environment, force yourself to wait 3 full seconds before you respond. Count them in your head. 1, 2, 3. In those 3 seconds, you are breaking the karmic loop. You are stepping out of the emotional reaction and into the spiritual observation. You will find that in those 3 seconds, the urge to defend yourself often evaporates. You will realize that silence is actually the best answer. You will look at them and realize that no combination of words will fix their perception, so you choose to save your breath. Practice the power of a neutral response. Okay, I hear you. That's interesting. These are shields. They acknowledge the sound without accepting the energy. Second, you must learn to become comfortable with being the villain in their story. This is the hardest part for the chosen one, because you have a heart of gold. You want to be seen as good, but you must accept that to the people who benefit from your lack of boundaries, your boundaries will look like evil. When you stop explaining, they will call you cold. Let them. When you stop oversharing, they will call you secretive. Let them. You must value your peace more than you value their opinion of you. Repeat this to yourself. I would rather be misunderstood and peaceful than understood and exhausted. Third, treat your words like currency. Before you speak, check your bank account. Ask yourself, can I afford this conversation? Is this person worth the withdrawal of my life force? If the answer is no, keep your purse strings tight. Do not cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them and then turn to tear you to pieces. That is not just a poetic verse. It is a warning about energy management. Now I want to seal this energy within you. I want to activate this shield of silence over your life. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Take a deep breath in and let the noise of the world fade away. Connect with my voice and let this prayer be your decree. Divine Creator, source of all light and truth, I come before you today as your chosen vessel. I thank you for the gift of silence. I thank you for the wisdom to know when to speak and the strength to remain quiet. I ask that you place a guard over my mouth and a watch over the door of my lips. Let no corrupt communication proceed from me. Let my words be few, but let them be heavy with power. Let them be seasoned with grace and fire. I cut every energetic cord that I have attached to low vibrational conversations, arguments, and conflicts. I call my energy back from the past. I call my energy back from the opinions of others. I call my energy back from the need to explain myself. I declare that I am a sovereign being. I do not need the validation of the world to exist. I am validated by the Spirit. I command the atmosphere around me to align with my peace. When I enter a room, let the chaos settle. When I speak, let the truth be established. I forgive those who do not understand me, for they are fighting battles I have already won. I release the need to save them. I release the need to convince them. I turn my focus inward to the kingdom of heaven within. I am the calm in the storm. I am the anchor. I am the silence that speaks louder than thunder. It is sealed, it is done, and so it is. If you felt that shift, if you felt that weight lift off your shoulders, then this message is meant for you. You are not alone in this. There are thousands of us all over the world going quiet at the same time. We are the silent army. We are the watchers. Do not let the algorithm hide this truth. Affirm your power in the comments below. Write, I claim my silent power. Speak it into the digital realm to lock it into your reality. Like this video to signal to the universe that you are ready for the next level. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell because the messages are going to get deeper and you cannot afford to miss the next instruction. Walk in peace, walk in silence, and watch how loud your life becomes with blessings.